Okay, sir, shall we start? Shall we wait for other participants as well, or shall we start?
Sir, please start.
Okay. So, hello, good evening, friends. I am Palash Seth. I will be taking chemical bonding as well as coordination chemistry with you all. I have been preparing for civil services since around 4 years, and currently I have given several UPPCS mains. So, I think, and I am a BTech in chemical engineering from Harcourt Butter Technological Institute, Kanpur. So, I hope that I will be justifying the cause for which we are here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. So we shall begin with the discussion for syllabus. Here we will read in this chemical bonding chapter. We will read about the ionic bonding, its characteristics, lattice energy, and Born-Haber cycle. Just a minute. Sorry for the interruption. Just a minute. Yes, now it is okay. Yes. So in this chapter, we will first read about the ionic bonding, its characteristics of ionic bonding, and lattice energy. So these will culminate into Born-Haber cycle. In Born-Haber cycle, we will read about the formation of various ionic bonds, their feasibility according to the lattice energy and ionization energy. And then after that, we will move on to the study of covalent bond formation and its general characteristics. And then we will be dealing with the polarity of bonds in the molecules and their dipole moment. I think we have already read a lot about this chapter in our 11th and 12th class. I hope we have all have read it. And here we will just build up upon that what we have already acquired in 11th and 12th standard. And the basic concepts of valence bond theory will be discussed over here, and the concept of resonance energy, and molecular orbital theory. This is the most important part of this chapter, in which we will read about the bonding of these compounds, and the major questions that are asked from this chapter are from this molecular orbital theory. And finally, we will compare the valence bond theory as well as molecular orbital theory. And later, there are certain questions related to bond order, its bond strength, and bond length. So I hope everyone might be knowing something about this chapter. Is it so?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now for the IFOS, we just need to do just two more additional topics: factors affecting stability of ionic compounds, and beryllium hydride and carbon dioxide molecules for molecular orbital theory. Just we need to do these things in addition to what we are reading in civil services preparation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If anyone has doubt related to anything in this syllabus, so You can ask. And pardon me for any mistake, because it is my first online class, or class, we would say. So this will be a learning experience for you as well as me, as I am also an aspirant.
सर कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप रिलैक्स रहिए, ऐसा कुछ दिक्कत नहीं है.
Next, we will look at the weightage of this chemical bonding chapter. So from 2013, since the syllabus changed, we are looking into the analysis part of this chapter, and continuously questions have been asked from this chapter, and this is the most scoring of all the chapters in paper one of the most scoring. If you have the command over this chemical bonding, then you will sail through these much marks. You can simply attempt the question and multiply it by 0.7, then you will get the maximum marks out of that. So no need to worry about anything about this chapter. And here, if we look at the marks, average marks are around 25 marks every year. As you can see, initially it was 40, then in 2015 it is 50 marks questions, whereas in 2016 it was one of the lowest, 25 marks, just 2 questions. And if we look at the recent trend of this, then in 2019 and 20 it was 40 questions. So it is a heavy weightage chapter. You can see out of 400 marks entire question paper, 10% of the question paper is asked from this only this chapter. So you can see the weightage of this chapter, as well as this chapter is easy to understand, so you can score very good marks out of it. And if we look at the recent trend, then in 2021 and in 2022, 30 marks questions have been asked. Previously it was 2 questions. This year there are 3 questions. So I am expecting that in 2023, sorry for it, I'm expecting that in 2023 around 4 questions will be asked, which will be 40 mark, because the trend is such that we can extrapolate it. Okay, so थोड़ा सा पढ़ने पर हमें ज्यादा मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे इसमें, if you are able to understand it. And before we start, it is a easy scoring chapter. First of all, it is an easy chapter. Then it is somewhat predictable. If you look at the previous year questions from this chapter, then you will realize that the questions, major portion of the questions have been asked from similar sort of things like molecular orbital theory. For example, about the carbon monoxide, about NO, about CN minus, these sort of questions, or from valence bond theory, the shape of any compound is asked. So much predictable questions are asked from this chapter. So now the key is that everyone will be knowing something about this chapter and they will be writing. And for maximizing your marks, you need to have in-depth answer of this. Any question that is asked from this chapter, you need to have in-depth of each answer. This we will be doing in these classes, so you need not to worry about it. Then why this chapter is important? As I'm aware that you are currently reading atomic structure. Is it so now?
Yes, sir.
So in the later half of the atomic structure, you will read about the shape of sp d orbitals, and the application part of this chapter, that atomic structure, will come in the chemical bonding. So once you will finish this chapter, then you will be easily able to correlate with the covalent bonding that we will be doing. I think that will come after you will read this atomic structure. And it is very important to read chemical bonding sincerely, because in coordination chemistry, entire coordination chemistry depends upon the understanding of chemical bonding. Any charge transfers, for formation of a coordination compound, and d orbitals, their functions, shape of shape of square pyramidal and tetrahedral, anything anything that you will read in coordination chemistry will be linked to chemical bonding. So it is very important for this as well. And in solid state, as sir has already taught you, there are relations in solid state as well as chemical bonding when we read about the ionic compounds. Okay. And in the transition metal chemistry as well, it is very important because entire transition metal chemistry depends upon the D block as well as F block elements. Okay. So, and lastly, for the organic, as you are already introduced with the organic chemistry, so you must be aware about the covalent nature of carbon and the entire organic chemistry related to it. So it is very important. And one thing I would like all of you to do is to read or watch any YouTube video of the 11th, 12th class NCERT in which the chemical bonding chapter is being discussed. So it would be very easy for you to understand what we will be doing in these lectures about chemical bonding. So anything, any doubt related to it?
No, sir.
Or am I fast? Am I too fast?
नहीं
No,
sir,
sir,
ठीक
it's
है.
okay.
Okay. Any query? So shall we jump over to the actual topics that we will be reading today?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Okay, fine.
will we be reading field theory?
What? Pardon me, I was unable to hear it.
Still field theory, and splitting of d orbital and coordination.
As far as I am hearing it, you are talking about the splitting of d orbitals that we will be dealing in coordination chemistry.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Sorry for the interruption. So we will be beginning with the ionic bonding. And before that, first of all, we will read about what is chemical bonding. Is a chemical bond.
Action between two atoms.
Yes, exactly. This is the simplest of all the definitions and exact thing that we will be reading it. So shall I dictate the notes or shall I just explain and you will cover it?
नहीं सर, थोड़ा लिखवाना पड़ेगा आपको थोड़ा बहुत.
ठीक है. तो kindly
बाकी
write.
जनता से भी बाकी जनता भी बताओ भाई.
देखिए जैसे क्लास में होता है तो क्लास में तो